Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 6th grade math with Dr. Griggs. Our topics for this year are shown here. We are working through ratios and proportional relationships. Now, for this particular topic, we had a total of 6 objectives. We're working on the last one for this topic, so let's check it out. The objective here for today is use ratio reasoning to convert measurement units, manipulate and transform units appropriately when multiplying or dividing quantities. So let's see this in action. So here's our problem. We have converting recipe measurements. A smoothie recipe calls for 4 cups of strawberries. You only have a measuring container marked in pints. But here's a reminder. 1 pint equals 2 cups. So the question is, how many pints of strawberries do you need for the recipe? Before we look at the extension, let's first look at this first question. Then we'll go from there. So if we look at the smoothie recipe, it says that it needs 4 cups of strawberries. Now, of course, the problem is we don't have a cup that measures in cups. We have a container that measures in pints. But that's not a problem because we know that 1 pint equals 2 cups. So this kind of goes along with equivalent ratios because we can set this up as an equivalent ratio. We have 1 pint equals 2 cups. So if we set this up the same way, putting pints here and cups here, then we'll be able to figure out the missing part of the measurement. Well, we know that we have 4 cups of strawberries, but we need to know how many pints of strawberries that will be. So that's our missing part. But we can look at the relationship between the numbers that we do know. We know both sets for cups. So if we look at how can we get from 2 to 4, well, if we multiply 2 times 2, that would give us 4. Now, with equivalent ratios, of course, we need to do the same thing from the denominator as well as the numerator. So 1 times 2 equals 2. So in this case, we would have 2 pints of strawberries because that is the same as 4 cups. So now that we have answered the question, let's look at an extension. If you want to make 3 batches of the smoothie, how many quarts of strawberries will you need? So now we've gone to another measurement, but again, that's okay because we know that 1 quart equals 2 pints. So we can, let me erase that. Actually, I'm going to keep that. So if we look at 3 batches of the smoothie, well, first, let's see how many pints that would be, because this is for 1 batch. But if we multiply this by 3 batches, then that's going to give us 6 pints. Now that we know that we will have 6 pints of strawberries, we can figure out how many quarts. Well, we know that 1 quart is the same as 2 pints. If we set this up properly, meaning we need to have the same proportions on both the numerator and the denominator. Quarts were on top over here, so they need to be on the top here. Pints at the bottom, pints at the bottom. We know that we have 6 pints. Now, going from 2 to 6, we're going up, so we need to multiply. 2 times what gives us 6? Well, 2 times 3 gives us 6. Doing the same thing to the numerator, multiply by 3. 1 times 3 equals 3. So in this case, we will have 3 quarts of strawberries, which is the same as the 6 pints. So this is a quick version of looking at converting equivalent ratios so that we can figure out a missing component of the other ratio. I hope this was helpful and that it made sense. But of course, if you have any questions at all, or there's any other problems that are causing you difficulty, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I'd love to be of assistance to you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining my tutoring session today. If you enjoy the way that I instruct, and you think that I would be a useful addition to your student or to yourself, feel free to scan this QR code. It is going to take you directly to my profile page where you can get set up on weekly classes with me. Looking forward to seeing you in the classroom. Bye.